Do you know who was the longest-reigning monarch in British history? If your guess is Queen Elizabeth II, then you're right on the mark. Born Elizabeth Alexandra Mary on a fine spring day, April 21, 1926, in the heart of London, she was destined to wear the crown. As the firstborn of King George VI and Queen Elizabeth, her path to royalty was etched from the start. When her father's breath ceased on a cold February morning in 1952, Elizabeth's life transformed forever. On February 6th, she ascended the throne, becoming the Queen Regnant of not just the United Kingdom, but numerous other Commonwealth realms. Her reign, spanning a remarkable 70 years, was not just lengthy. It was packed with duty, service, and a multitude of firsts for the British monarchy. Indeed, Queen Elizabeth II's reign was record-breaking. Her life, her reign, and her legacy continue to inspire and influence long after her passing on September 8, 2022. Scene script. Elizabeth Alexandra Mary was born on a spring day, April 21, 1926, in London. In the heart of the city, within the walls of the royal residence, a baby girl was welcomed into the world by King George VI and Queen Elizabeth. This baby girl was none other than Elizabeth Alexandra Mary, known to us today as Queen Elizabeth II. Born during an era of great change, Elizabeth was the first child of the Duke and Duchess of York, later known as King George VI and Queen Elizabeth. Her parents, particularly her father, shaped her early years, instilling in her a strong sense of duty and dedication to service. Elizabeth and her younger sister Margaret enjoyed a sheltered upbringing. Their education was a reflection of their royal status, focusing on history, languages, and the arts. However, it was not all textbooks and tutors. Elizabeth developed a love for horses at a young age, a passion she would carry into her adult life. Elizabeth's childhood was not solely defined by her royal status. She shared in the joys and trials of her generation. During the Second World War, she and her sister stayed at Windsor Castle, away from the bombings in London. It was during these years that Elizabeth's sense of duty deepened. Even at a young age, she participated in the war effort, joining the Auxiliary Territorial Service when she was just 18. Her early life was a mix of the ordinary and the extraordinary, the everyday and the regal. It was a life that prepared her for a role she was not born to assume, but destiny had other plans. When her father ascended to the throne following the abdication of his brother, Edward VIII, Elizabeth was suddenly first in line to the throne. Her childhood, filled with both privilege and responsibility, shaped the queen she would become. It fostered a sense of duty and resilience that would define her reign and endear her to her subjects. But little did young Elizabeth know, her life was about to take a dramatic turn. On February 6, 1952, a young woman became the Queen Regnant of the United Kingdom and other Commonwealth realms. The day dawned like any other, but it was far from ordinary. It was the day that forever changed the course of British history. Elizabeth Alexandra Mary, merely 25 years old, was holidaying in Kenya when she received the somber news of her father's death. Her father, King George VI, had been a pillar of strength during the tumultuous times of the Second World War, maintaining the nation's morale with his steadfast demeanor. His unexpected passing due to a coronary thrombosis left the country in a state of profound grief. Yet, amidst the sorrow and shock, a new era was dawning. Elizabeth, the eldest daughter of King George VI, was next in the line of succession. From the quiet comfort of her private life, she was thrust into the limelight as the Queen Regnant, a role she neither sought nor expected at such a tender age. Yet destiny had other plans. The Ascension was not without its challenges. Elizabeth had to quickly adapt to her new role, navigating the complex world of royal duties, public expectations, and political nuances. She was now the symbol of unity and continuity for a nation grappling with the loss of a beloved king and the uncertainties of a post-war world. Yet she rose to the occasion with grace and fortitude. She pledged to dedicate her life to service, upholding the values of duty and devotion that defined her father's reign. She also embraced the winds of change, realizing the need to modernize the monarchy for a rapidly evolving world. The coronation ceremony, held on June 2, 1953 at Westminster Abbey, was a spectacle of grandeur and tradition. It was also a beacon of hope, heralding the dawn of a new era under the rule of a young and dynamic queen. From that momentous day, Elizabeth II committed herself to serving her people, embodying the spirit of a modern monarch while upholding the rich traditions of the British crown. Thus began the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, a reign that would be marked by duty, devotion, and many firsts. Queen Elizabeth II wasn't just a queen, she was a symbol of duty and devotion. This was a reign that spanned 7 decades, peppered with events that both challenged and shaped the British monarchy as we know it today. The Queen's sense of duty was a shining beacon throughout her reign. From the moment she ascended the throne, she dedicated her life to service, embodying the very essence of a constitutional monarch. She was a steadfast presence, always there, always working. Whether it was state visits, diplomatic meetings, or simply reading and signing government documents, she fulfilled her duties with unwavering commitment. But it wasn't just about fulfilling obligations. Queen Elizabeth II was also known for her innate ability to connect with people. She was a queen who understood the power of presence. She made it a point to visit every corner of her realm, meeting with people from all walks of life. From miners in the north of England to farmers in Australia, she made them feel seen, heard, and valued. This too was part of her duty, a duty of care towards her subjects. Queen Elizabeth's reign was also marked by a series of firsts, signaling a shift in the monarchy's approach to modernity. She was the first reigning monarch to have her coronation broadcast on television, a decision that reflected her understanding of the power of media. She also established the monarchy's own website and Twitter account, further bridging the gap between the crown and the people. These were not just technological advancements, but strategic moves that allowed the monarchy to remain relevant in an ever-evolving world. Through all these, Queen Elizabeth II remained a constant figure, a symbol of stability amidst the tides of change. Her reign was not just about tradition, but about adapting and modernizing the monarchy for a new era. Her sense of duty, her commitment to service, and her willingness to embrace change are what defined her reign. And these are the traits that will continue to resonate long after her reign has ended. Her reign was not just about tradition, but about adapting and modernizing the monarchy for a new era. Queen Elizabeth II's reign ended on September 8, 2022, but her legacy continues. The world had changed dramatically during her reign, and she too had evolved with the times, guiding the monarchy through decades of transformation. Her reign was a testament to her unwavering sense of duty and her devotion to a life of service. It was an era marked by remarkable firsts for the British monarchy. She was the first monarch to have her coronation broadcast from Westminster Abbey, allowing millions to witness the historic moment. She further embraced the digital age, establishing the monarchy's own website and Twitter account, connecting with a global audience in a way no other monarch before her had done. Beyond these firsts, Queen Elizabeth II left an indelible mark on the British monarchy, the United Kingdom, and indeed, the world. As a figurehead during times of crisis, she was a beacon of stability and strength. Her reign saw the monarchy evolve, modernize, and adapt to the changing world, ensuring its continued relevance in the 21st century. Her influence transcended the borders of her realm. As the head of the Commonwealth, she was a symbol of unity and continuity for over 2 billion people across more than 50 nations. Her commitment to duty, service, and her people was unwavering, and this commitment was recognized and admired globally. Her legacy is not just one of longevity, but of leadership, resilience, and adaptability. She ruled with grace, dignity, and a deep sense of responsibility. She embodied a spirit of public service that will forever be associated with her reign. Her influence on the monarchy was transformative, and her impact on the world is immeasurable. Queen Elizabeth II was more than just a queen. She was a symbol of an era, a link to the past, and a guiding force for the future. Her reign may have ended, but the echoes of her influence continue to resonate. Queen Elizabeth II, a beloved and influential figure whose legacy will continue to shape the British monarchy and the world for years to come. So, who was the longest-reigning monarch in British history? The answer, as we've explored, is Queen Elizabeth II, a vibrant figure whose influence reached far beyond the borders of the United Kingdom. Born Elizabeth Alexandra Mary on a spring day in London, her life was destined to be intertwined with the history of her nation. Her reign, spanning over 7 decades, was marked by a strong sense of duty and service. She ascended to the throne amidst a world rebuilding from war, and through times of peace and crisis alike, remained a steadfast figurehead for the UK and the Commonwealth. Elizabeth II was not just a monarch of tradition, but also of innovation. She embraced the modern world, leading the monarchy into a new era with firsts like the first coronation broadcast and the establishment of the monarchy's own digital presence. Yes, it was Queen Elizabeth II, a woman of duty, devotion, and a queen of many firsts.